What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Rafael Espinoza. I'm with my co-host.
Miguel Espinoza.
First of all, I'm repping Athletic Ascent, throwback.
OGs. For the OGs, I know.
This is probably going to be like more like a therapeutic type of
Why you need to talk
session for me. No, I mean, it's just what I've been what I've had in my mind for a while now, and I've been going up and down these past few days with these thoughts. So basically, the general idea of the talk is like perspective. And I know that's very vague, but I'll get more into detail about it. Basically, I find myself in situations where let's say I'm not happy with the current situation I'm in, right? And then I've gotten to a point now where I'm able to stop and just reflect on everything and just be like, and then change my perspective on it and just be like, okay, where I'm at is currently not where I want to be, or how things are going are currently not how I want it to be, but it could be worse. Can it be better? Yes, but it could also be way worse, you know? And this, I think, has been saving me recently. That kind of self-talk that way of perspective and changing my perspective has been saving me in my like mental health. And it reminds me of where I was when I tore my ACL in 2019, when I was going through the recovery process. And I remember just feeling like I hated the situation I was in.
Right.
But then having that self-talk of changing my perspective and being like, dude, it could be so much worse. It could be to the point where I can't even work to get back on the field. It could be like a career-ending injury, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that like even going a bit extreme of where like this is how much worse it can be. Like example, I was speaking with the trainer today because I want to go train. And we were talking about this topic a little bit about perspective, and I told him that like the situation that I don't want to get too like specific and stuff, but like the situation I was in and like how I wasn't happy with it, but then I ran into somebody that I knew who was in a worse situation. I won't say his name, but he tore his ACL.
Right.
And recently, so now he's out, and I'm like, damn. And then it reminded me, I'm like, dude, it's like, it's not that bad. Where I'm at, it's not that bad. And then I was talking to this trainer, and he goes, yeah. And then he's like, but there's levels to it. He's like, now you could think about that, but then it's like, now what about the people who don't even have legs? You know what I mean? You know, so it's kind of like,
right,
who have never even got the privilege to be able to play soccer, you know? So yeah, it's just this weird like kind of thing. Like what I'm saying is like I'm going back and forth with this kind of thing in my head because yeah, it could be worse, but it's also like I almost need it to be better. And not necessarily need it to be better, but it's like I've been working so hard and you put so much hours, so much time, so much effort into something, and when you see it like it's not necessarily flourishing or
that's how you thought it should be.
Right, like you start to like it starts to get to you, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I go back to the perspective thing, you know, and I'm like, dude, I'm in Southern California. I'm like with family. I'm
signed somewhere.
Right, I have friends around me. I have loved ones around me. I have Hulk, dude, my dog that I love so much.
And there's people who are homeless.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's a
good way to be grateful.
Right.
You think about it, because you do realize that it's not that bad. Like there's worse scenarios,
but then now like what scares me about that mentality is now like, okay, whereas like you have it good, so like you be comfortable.
Put your foot off the pedal.
You know what I mean? Like now am I like, I know for myself I'm not big. I wouldn't. But like when you try to tell other people that, it's like now, because you see those people who are like, dude, like life's not that serious, blah blah blah, this is that. And I agree, but then you could tell that they're just so laid back and they're not stressing about anything.
Or maybe they are, but they just don't.
Yeah, right. But like when I'm like I'm more like thinking of like those people who are just like, they're okay, like not making it to that next level.
Right.
They're
They're
okay.
comfortable
They're
with their
comfortable with their
situation.
situation because they have that. I imagine they have that perspective of like, I have it good, and like maybe they don't think they can make it to the next level. I have no idea. There's a lot to many factors that can go into it.
Yeah.
But like, what scares me about, because again, these are the conversations I have in my head when I tell myself like, oh, dude, like you're good, dude. Like you have it good right now. Enjoy it and enjoy the moment. But then it's like, then I fight with myself and it's like, dude, no, like that mindset of like having a chip on your shoulder, that mindset of not being happy, not being satisfied with where you're at has gotten me to this point.
Right.
So it's like
It's finding the balance.
Right. And it's like it's a weird back and forth, a weird argument that I'm having with myself where it's like, dude, be grateful. Find that like it can be worse, but then it's also like, don't be satisfied, don't be happy with where you are. Like work. But then it's like I work best when I'm like almost like struggling or like wanting to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's hard to find that like not motivation, that like drive to prove yourself when you feel like, oh, when you're happy and when you're like oh, this is fucking, I have it, I have it all. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like a weird back and forth thing that I've been going through recently.
That's
when I tore my ACL, it was a lot easier to have that perspective of like, dude, it could be way worse. Like, dude, you have it. Like, it's okay because I know that I'm working towards.
Yeah, you're working towards recovery.
And there's like a path that I need to follow. Yeah. Right now, there's no necessarily a path that I need to follow because it's super unpredictable in what I'm doing.
Right.
I know like the easiest way to put it, the simplest way to put it is like, be grateful, but keep working hard.
Yeah.
I am extremely grateful where I'm at, but I'm not happy with where I'm at.
What makes you feel like not happy in the situation that you're at? Like what are you looking forward to?
I know that I can be in a better place. And I'm not there. Whether that's my own fault or not, right. I know I'm not there.
Right. And
that is what kind of gets to me. And even it's like, it could be personally, and then it's also like without a doubt as well. Like without a doubt is like, I know we can be somewhere, and we not necessarily should. That's another thing is that when I start thinking like this way, and then I'm just kind of speaking exactly what I think.
Yeah.
But whereas like I work so hard, like I'm putting in all this time, all this effort, like I deserve this. Right. But then I tell myself, you don't deserve shit.
Yeah.
You stop acting like entitled. You don't deserve anything.
What do you think? Okay, I understand you don't deserve anything, but like
everyone works hard.
Yeah, for the most part. But what's the thing that you're saying that you deserve? Like success, money, like what?
Me personally, as a player, I deserve to be at a higher level. That's just kind of like a vague kind of like example, but like I deserve to be at a higher level. I deserve, like, without a doubt, deserves to be making more money. Without a doubt, deserves to be more well known. Deserves to be impacting more people. But then again, I'm just like, yeah, you're putting in all the work, but you don't deserve shit right now. Like, that's such an entitled way of thinking. It's like, I deserve this. That's like the same way when I tore my ACL. I was like, I don't deserve this.
Right.
Like I don't deserve to. Yeah, like I don't deserve to like have torn my ACL. Like I've worked so hard.
Yeah.
Why? No, it's like, dude, like you get what comes to you. It's life. Like that entitled mindset that.
And you also gotta ask yourself, like, why are you doing this? Like, is it because you deserve to, get the spotlight at a higher level, or is it more of like,
when I think of like higher level, it's not necessarily just like, oh, there's more people in the stands. I'm more well known. It's not even that. It's just more of like a bit like, I guess if you want to label it, it'd be like status, right? Like, because right now I'm playing Division 3, but then now you play Division 2, you feel a little bit better about yourself. Mm-hmm. You play Division 1, you feel better about yourself. That kind of thing. but again, then this is like, dude, like I'm legit like spitting out everything. Like I'm kind of like regretting it a little bit, but like I'm spitting out everything that I go back and forth with, because I'm like, I feel like I deserve to be at a higher level, but then I also know that I deserve to be where I'm at right now. Whether that's because of me or because of external factors, I don't know, but I deserve to be where I'm at, but I feel like I deserve to be somewhere else. But it doesn't matter how I feel. That's an entitled way of thinking. You are where you're at, and that's where you should be.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that, but it's not easy to be okay with it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so recently, it's just having that kind of back and forth in my head, and I'm trying to find a happy medium, and I eventually always do find a happy medium where I'm just like, yo, it is what it is. I'm just gonna keep my head down and just work.
Yeah.
As I've been doing my entire life, but I feel like I've always been at an uphill climb,
right,
you know.
Right.
But then I hear other people's stories, or I think about other people's stories. It's like, man, my shit wasn't as steep as others. You know, like other people's climbs have been steeper than mine. You know, so it's just, and other people's haven't. It's been a fucking smooth, paved path for them.
Yeah.
And it's just that everyone has their own experiences, their own journeys and stuff. Ultimately, you have to focus on your own journey and trust your own process. And it's a weird back and forth that I go on. But ultimately, though, I'm trying to get to a point, and I think I've done an okay job, where I try not to let it, whatever's going on in my life, try not to let it affect me and my relationships. In fact, when I'm with my family, when I'm with you, when I'm with my parents, our sisters, whatever, when we're family, like I try to be as present as I possibly can and enjoy whatever the fuck's happening in my life. Don't let it affect, and don't let it have a negative impact on whoever we're with.
Right.
When I'm with Nikki and my girlfriend, I try, like, same thing. Like, sometimes when she asks me, like, oh, how did this go? And I know it wasn't a great experience, I tell her, I just don't really want to talk about it. Let's move on. And then she's like, okay. She does a good job, and she's like, okay. She doesn't push it. Like, no, tell me, you know. So okay, that's fine. And then we have a good night. Like the night is nice. We don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about like what happened and get so mad about it anymore. And our mood is, you know, I just okay, brush it off, whatever, we're good. But then what I find myself being is that now I'm like by myself. Whenever I'm by myself, I'm thinking about this, and then I'm like in like a bad mood by myself. You know what I mean? It's weird, bro.
Yeah. How do you think you developed that awareness? Because not a lot of people are even aware of, like, you know, those type of thoughts, and they stay in that pessimistic mood, and they feel hopeless, and you know, they feel like a situation's happening and they don't know like if they're gonna make it, type of thing. And
honestly, bro, it's like it's I think it's come from giving other people advice. It's so easy to give other people advice. Yeah, 100%. You know, it's difficult to take your own advice. But like I give people, like, I've been blessed to be in a situation where people come to me for advice, where I have young athletes, you know, who look up to me, which I, you know, I'm extremely grateful for, and I want to do the best possible for them, you know what I mean? And so oftentimes I like, whenever I talk to myself quite a bit, and sounds like I'm a psycho, but
I think everyone does.
Yeah, honestly. But I have like very conscious conversations with myself. It's not just like negative self-talk and then just right. You know, I have like conscious conversations, like, why did I think that? Like, why am I thinking this way? You know? And oftentimes I have like a problem, or I have a situation that I'm currently dealing with, that somebody, whether that's recently or in the past, has asked me for advice. And I just think, okay, I told them that, I should probably do that as well, you know? And like, you know, the amount of times I've told people like about this whole perspective, like, dude, it could be worse, you know. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
so
yeah.
then like,
It's
so now I'm
easier
like,
said than done.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then now I'm like thinking about it, like, yeah, it could, and then, but again, going back and forth, and I don't know, bro. It's a weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say like, oh, accept your thoughts, accept what is right now, and then let your actions be like let your actions decide where your path is gonna go to, you
Right.
know, and that's ultimately what it is. I mean,
Yeah. It's. I don't know. I don't want people to think I'm like over here depressed and stuff. Like, I'm not. Like,
I'm sure everyone has the same struggles. There.
Yeah.
A lot of people could relate to this. Dude, this is a good topic for me as well because lately I've been like, you know, you write stuff down that you plan, like, oh, it's my to-do list for the day. I'm gonna achieve these things. And then, I don't know, for some reason, like, the day goes by and you're like, you push it off to the side and start doing other things. And then you don't end up doing the thing that you want to do. And that's kind of where my situation is right now. And I've noticed that I'm so conscious. Like, I know, like, the solution is, you know, remove the distractions and start doing what you're supposed to do. But my body, I don't know. There's times where like I want to do it, but then I'm just like 10 minutes, like in 10 minutes. Oh, dude, it's already 5:06. Maybe at 6 I'll do it. You know, like push it off, and it's kind of weird because I know, like, I'm so aware of like what's going on, and it's for some reason like I still gravitate towards like the distractions and pushing away the things I know I need to be working on.
Do you find yourself eventually doing it or no?
Times, yeah, there are times, and when I do it, I feel sick. I feel like, dude, that's so productive. Like, I just did this. Like,
why do you feel though that you're not doing it? Is it because what the task that's at hand is not enjoyable or what?
No, because like I said, like once I do it, like I'm in the zone. I'm in like flow state. It's not hard. It's just getting to do it. I don't know.
You know what's weird? I you know, I have to walk Hulk. And there's times where I'm like, okay, I need to walk Hulk, and I'm just like, oh, bro, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, you know,
that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, but then it's like, but then it like, bro, like,
it's the thought of doing it.
This has helped me out a lot. Just saying, fuck it. Like,
yeah,
just being like, you're laying down, and like, you know, Hulk is staring at you, and he like wants you to take him out, and you're just like, all right, fuck it, and you get up, and then you like almost like rush to do it, and then now you have to do it now.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what helped me do it.
It's the thought then, huh? So it's the thought of you doing it.
Yeah,
it like holds you back. You're like,
like even like the same thing. Like when you have to wake up, like when you wake up in the morning, it's earlier than you really want to, and you just got to be like, fuck it. And then as soon as you like take the like, dude, you're done. You're already that now you're gonna do it now.
Yeah. No. What's annoying is that, okay, you know how I used to go training with the pro team. I used to, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I have to get up. You know, and I get up and I, you know, don't complain, get ready, and I go. But when it's for me, when it's for stuff that I like plan out to do, like I said, like studying and shit like that, I can't.
Yeah.
And it's like lack of respect towards myself. And
it is. Ultimately, it is.
It is.
You're allowing yourself to cheat yourself out of doing stuff. I think as a genuine, I would say, problem that you need to sort because it is.
No, it's holding me back for I don't know how many years, bro. Like, honestly.
I think you definitely gotten better at it, but I know you do. You probably still do deal with that. I think it is something that you need to continuously do. But I think having that mindset of just like saying F it and then get up and do it. Because, bro, the amount of times where I'm laying in bed and I don't want to get up and I just say F it and I get out of bed, impossible for me to now go back to bed. Have you ever like gotten out of bed and then you start getting your clothes on, and then you're like, actually, never mind. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Hell, dude, you lay down, you're awake. You can't go back to sleep.
Bro, I've taken my mom to work and come back home and then knock out.
What? Oh, that's different though.
That's at 6 in the morning.
But I'm saying you did the task at hand. You had to wake up at that time too.
But like, it's mandatory. Like, I have to.
Exactly. Okay, but my point is this: when it comes to like, let's say you have to study. And you've already made the decision, okay, I'm going to study now. I get out of bed. I go, and it's in the morning. I start brushing my teeth. After you brush your teeth, you're not going to go back to sleep.
No.
Impossible. even if you go to the bathroom and take a piss, you're not gonna go back to sleep.
Right.
At least for me, I don't know. Like once I'm out of bed, I'm out of bed. Like I can't just be like, never mind, and then go back to sleep and then try. I've tried it where I try to go back to sleep and I'm just wide awake. I end up going on my phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so, I think it's that just initial action of just getting yourself out of bed, or even like getting yourself to start something. Once you do that, then you're in a flow state.
For sure.
You start doing it.
The thoughts, bro.
You touched on it a little bit when you said like the victim mentality thing.
Mm-hmm.
When one thing is, I'm gonna use a hypothetical for this scenario. Let's say I'm being way too hard on one of our players, right, on our team. And I'm being way like, it's obvious to that player, maybe not obvious to everybody else, and maybe I'm not even doing it consciously. It's just like, I purposely call out his every time he messes up. Mm-hmm. He notices it, and he has two options. He can be like, oh, this guy, he's always on my ass.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, whatever. And then just be like, screw him, right? Or he can be like, no, he's right. I messed up. Right. He's holding me to a higher standard than everybody else.
Right.
Yeah, I messed up. All right, he expects me to not make any mistakes. Okay, my standard for the standard he's holding for me is up here. Everybody else is here because they can make mistakes without him calling them out. But if I make a mistake, he's calling me out.
Right.
So his standards for me are super high. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So let me try to meet those standards. So anytime I mess up, my fault for giving me, like me being the coach, right? The player's thinking it's his fault for giving me a reason to call him out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I believe that adopting that mindset is the best way for your growth.
Right.
Is taking something like that, because there's a common theme where I don't know how many players I've spoken to where they feel like they get called out on everything, right? Or they're like, dude, I have no room for mistakes, right? Okay, if that's a common thing and you genuinely feel that way, again, we'll go back to perspectives. Take it that way where, okay, the standard that you're holding for me is just a lot higher than everybody else. Perfect. Let me try to meet that standard. You're making me better by holding me to that standard. Mm-hmm. And now if you're a player who's not getting called out on your mistakes.
And then you do get called out.
Well, wait, before you say that.
Okay.
Before that. But I'm saying, if you're a player who doesn't get called out on your mistakes, you better reflect and call yourself out, hold yourself up to that higher standard. Because now, this game is full of mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to. But if you're not continuously trying to minimize your mistakes and trying to be, while being yourself,
right,
then you're not putting those efforts to getting better. So if you're not that player who is constantly getting called out, I'm telling you right now, reflect and be like, okay, I'm that player. I need to be aware of my mistakes and make that conscious decisions to improve and minimize those mistakes, right? Now, if you are the player, but I guess that goes for the players who don't get called out and then finally do get called out.
I think those kids that don't get called out, they'll find it harder to take it,
right? Because
they're not used to it, and then they feel like they're getting talked down rather than, the different perspective of, I should perform better because of the standards he's held. But there's times where players, I could be an example too. When I was playing, like whenever I got called out, I always felt like, wow, this guy just doesn't like me. He doesn't like me, and it could be that he just thinks I could do better than what I've been doing.
But no, let's just say he probably doesn't like you. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Let's say he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. Don't give him an excuse to call you out.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say the fact, it's facts. Like he said it himself. I don't like you. So every time you make a mistake, I'm gonna call you out on it. But okay, cool. Okay, you could take. I'm saying that you could take it both ways. You could take it two ways. You could be like, oh, that's mess, like that, like, oh, screw this guy, like, he's whatever, right? You could take it like, oh, he doesn't like me. That's why he's calling me out on everything. He's being a dick, whatever. Like, okay, you could take it that way and then feel sorry for yourself, or you could take it like, okay, you don't like me. You're gonna call me out for for every mistake I make. Okay, I'm gonna try to minimize the amount of times you call me out. And if you call me out, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just think that's like something that I've also thought about or been thinking about recently. Whereas, like, when it comes to this whole perspective topic, whereas it's just get yourself in situations where you can make a negative into a positive. I know that whatever bad is going on in my life right now is not worth being unhappy about.
Right, for sure.
Or being like, in a very, like, being in like a bad mood or whatever.
Yeah.
Life's beautiful, man. Try to find the positives in things. Perspective, man. I don't know. Okay, so unless you have more to talk about, but when we were talking about filming this episode, I just wanted to talk about this because it was on my mind. And I don't know if a lot of what I said made sense or whatever. I literally was just like,
no, I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
What was on my mind.
A lot of people going through stuff like that. And
yeah. But I know I'm in a good spot. So I am, ultimately, I'm happy.
I think it's the people who are very pessimistic and don't feel like it could get better that have to understand perspective.
Yeah.
Be more optimistic about life, but
yeah, I think I've been grateful enough to not have that, like, or for us to not grow up with that entitlement, that I feel like I'm able to reflect on life more. But yeah, I don't know. I think if we continue, we'll probably go in circles. So
yeah,
I think this is probably a good spot to
end
it. Unless you have anything.
No.
Everything's going good. Pretty much. Just say fuck it, dude, and get up.
That's all it is.
Honestly, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you watched all the way through, just know that I'm not depressed. I'm happy. So don't worry about it. Don't worry. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at withoutadoubt_athletics. You can follow me at Rafael Espinoza.x.
Miguel Espinoza.x.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.